Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Sakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaye Priyatmane Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Iti Namine. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Acharya Simharupine Sri Srimate Bhakti Prajnana Keshava Iti Namine. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine. Sri Varshava Bhanavi Devi Dahita Krupavde Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Namaha. Vanja Kalpa Tarutya Krupa Sindhupye Vacha Paditanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanjana Daurangi Radhe Brindavaneswari Brishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. My Dandavat pranams to every one of you, all assembled devotees, and the Bhakti Zoom Seva team for giving me this opportunity. I actually feel that I do not have any qualification to talk in this assembly of exalted devotees. However, only thinking that this request by Bhakti Zoom team is as an order coming from Srila Gurudev. So I would like to say few things, only in few words, but all of you know more than that, but I like to really say that for myself also. So yesterday was the glorious appearance day of Srila Bhakti Pranjana Kesava Goswami Maharaj. He is the Simha Rupine, so powerful as a roaring lion. And tomorrow is the appearance day of Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada, who was also known as Simha Guru. Also tomorrow is the disappearance day of Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj, whom we all know is another roaring lion by his very special way of preaching. So we are talking about three Simhas, three lions, very powerful lions. Just by thinking about them, we become fearless. In front of them, all other animals are like jackals and donkeys will run away. Who are those animals? Mayavadis, Buddhists and Ashtanga yogis and all the petty mundane logicians, they all run away. So tomorrow is the disappearance day of Srila Bhakti. Also tomorrow is the disappearance day of Bhakti Bhudeva Srauti Goswami Maharaj. Anyway, for today, as I told, I will try to say only few words to glorify Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I chose to just remember some portions of his life history. I am not going to tell everything new, something I know very little. When we talk about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, we also need to look from Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Without the advent of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who is considered as the seventh Goswami, almost all the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would have vanished. Soon after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this planet, his teachings were tainted. In the name of Vaishnavism, so many sects were exploiting his teachings. And the situation was pretty bad when Bhakti Vinod Thakur appeared. It's mainly because of Bhakti Vinod Thakura and his noble Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura and his warriors who followed, we are all here enjoying the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu today. It is said that at that time Bhakti Vinod Thakura could not even get a copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita from Bengal. But with his influential position, he could somehow get a copy from Orissa. That's what I heard. At the time when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura was born, Bhaktivinoda Thakura had a post of deputy magistrate under British rule. Of course, for Indians, that was probably the highest position that one could get. Also, he was a superintendent of Puri Jagannath temple. So Bhaktivinoda Thakura had determined and had a great vision to bring the real teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and re-establish the real Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So he prayed to Lord Jagannath and Vimala Devi to give a devotee to restore the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As if his prayer was answered, a son was soon born. When he was born, amazingly, the umbilical cord had wrapped around just like a Brahminical thread. So he was born straight as a Brahmin wearing sacred thread. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was one of the 10 children, I believe, of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. The name given that time was Vimala Prasad, meaning it was a gift or mercy from Vimala Devi of Puri Jagannath. That time Bhaktivinoda Thakur's family was staying in a house called Narayana Chatta, very near to the Lord Jagannath temple in Puri. It is said that once when the Ratha Yatra was proceeding to the Gundicha temple, but it magically stopped right in front of their home. Stopped. Lord Jagannath used to stop like this and no one could move unless he wanted to move again. No one could move the cart. It was staying there for 3 days and taking that as an opportunity. The mother of Vimala Prasad, Bhagavati Devi, who carried the baby and placed him at the lotus feet of Lord Jagannath. And miraculously in front of everyone's eyes, the garland of Lord Jagannath just straight away fell on Vimala Prasad. Seeing this, the priest chanted the holy name, Hari, Hari, loudly, and told Bhagavati Devi that this boy would become a great devotee one day. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur also felt so happy that his prayer is finally getting answered. After 10 months, Vimala Prasad was taken to Nadia near Calcutta by a palanquin while his mother was holding at her lap. His mother was very virtuous and never allowed her children to eat anything not offered to Krishna. Once as a child, Vimala Prasad ate a mango that was supposed to be offered to the Lord first. For that he was rebuked by his parents, and Vimala Prasad immediately took a oath not to eat any mango for his entire life, and he strictly followed that oath until the end. Vimala Prasad was growing and was extremely intelligent. Even when he was just 7 years old, he had memorized the entire Bhagavad Gita and could even explain all the verses. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur at that time was very involved in publishing magazines and printings. So he began to train Vimala Prasad to proofreading and printing. In conjunction with the publishing of his Vaishnava magazine called Sajjana Toshani. In the course of then something happened. They were actually trying to build some temple around there in Calcutta. And when they were excavating the earth, the temple was Bhakti Bhavana or something in Rambagan, that is in Calcutta. A deity of Kurmadev was unearthed. So that time, Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave the initiation, the first initiation to Vimala Prasad, and engaged him also in the service of these Kurmadevas. Vimala Prasad's intelligence was amazing, simply amazing. Right from the very beginning, his interest was to read devotional books instead of reading school textbooks. And when studying in the school, merely at the 5th grade, it is said that he invented a new way of writing. It is called Picanto, something, but I don't know whether it is still known to the public or not. So he was so intelligent. And then he was admitted in the Sanskrit college in Calcutta. And there he contributed so many high-class articles to Vedic religion, different religious journals also. His knowledge in Sanskrit, mathematics, and especially astronomy was so high that he penned the book called Surya Siddhanta. It became a very famous book on Hindu astronomy. The society of scholars there around, they were all shocked at the intelligence of this boy and gave the title Siddhanta Saraswati. So this is how he got the title as Siddhanta Saraswati. Later, Siddhanta Saraswati accepted service under the Tripura royal government. So he really was employed for some time as an editor of some biography about Raja Ratnakara or something. But he was not satisfied. So not feeling satisfied, he resigned the job. But because of the character and intelligence, the king even arranged pension for him for the rest of his life. But after some time, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, after some time he rejected that as well. So with his father Bhaktivinoda Thakura, he travelled to many holy places. Kashi, Prayag, Gaya, so many places they all went. All the time the Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, his son, was also taken with him. Then at Kashi, there was some discussion going on, occurred. It was with Rama Mishra Shastri. So this is actually that topic was about Ramanuja Sampradaya. So this talk was really going so intense, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was really so attracted to it. So his heart was really more moving towards renunciation. And he quietly started to search for a guru. So that time, I think, he was around 25 or 26 years old. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur understood his mood of his son. So he suggested to take the second initiation, and he was suggesting that to be really taken from Gaura Kishora Dasa Babaji. Gaura Kishora Dasa Babaji was the embodiment of Vairagya and was very selective about giving Diksha. So this is where now there is going to be some tug of war is going to happen. But however, following the advice of his father, Siddhanta Saraswati, that time, of course the Bhakti and all the things came later. So he went to Gaura Kishora Das Babaji and begged to be accepted as his disciple. Gaura Kishora Das Babaji, as soon as he heard this, he could not stop his laughing. He laughed. What? You are a great scholar, and I am an illiterate. I don't even know how to read or write. Initiation from me? Forget it. It is just impossible. But Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura was, of course, he was really begging and begging and begging again and again. But every time he was asking, Gaura Kishora Das Babaji replied that he cannot give, and then he changed the topic also. He said, okay, unless I get permission from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I cannot really give. Okay, if I get permission from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then only I can think about it. So, all right, then he was really, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was actually, returning again, coming back to check whether did you get the approval from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? No, he will say no. No, because I forgot to ask. Okay, again he really goes back. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur remained firmly determined, because he remembered that even Ramanujacharya had been sent back 18 times before he finally received the grace of his Guru. So seeing the commitment of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura, Gaura Kishora was impressed and finally gave him Diksha in the blissful grove of Godruma. He also told Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to preach and keep aside all the other things out. Preaching Gauravani is the only thing that you are supposed to do. That was basically was really told. So even though Gaurakishora Dasa Babaji seemed to be very simple and considered him as an illiterate, he gave a very beautiful spiritual name to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It was Varsha Bhanavi Devi Daitya Dasa. That's why we say Sri Varsha Bhanavi Devi Daitya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha. So we have that. That name is coming from there. And after getting Diksha initiation, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura wanted to preach, as he was instructed by his Guru. But he was thinking about how he can prepare for the preaching, because anything you had to prepare. So then he decided that the very first thing to do was to get qualified. So he decided and took a vow to chant Mahamantra 1 billion times. That is 1,000 millions. So he made a small hut. That time he was actually staying. His father got transferred already to the Krishna Nagar here. So anyway, and they were staying. And he made a small hut near the Krishna Nagar, but in the bank of the Ganges, and started to chant. Day and night he was chanting. And during the rainy seasons, rain used to pour through his simple hut. So many holes. That time what will he do? He doesn't have any time to repair or something. He just simply grab hold of an umbrella or something and then put it on his left hand and then keep on chanting and chanting and chanting with the right hand. Look at the dedication that he had. Anyway, he also felt that in order to preach effectively, one must take sannyas. That was the reason Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also eventually landed in taking sannyas. So following the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted to take sannyas. But by that time, Gaurakishora Das Babaji Maharaj already left the planet. But he wanted to really take sannyas only from Gaurakishora Das Babaji. So apparently it said that he really put a picture of Gaurakishora Das Babaji, and in front of the picture he took sannyas. Then soon Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura became a great preacher. Because of that, he also got the title Simha Guru, Lion Guru. Why? Because again, as I said, that when the lion comes, all the small animals like jackal, fox and all these things will run away immediately. Those animals are the Mayavadis, Agajyas and these and that, all kinds of. Of course, his preaching also raised big controversy. Especially the high caste Brahmanas became furious. And soon a big debate was also surfacing. It was on who is great, a Brahmana or a Vaishnava. So indeed, a very big debate was announced by the Brahmanas, as they determined to put an end to this to proclaim the position of Brahmanas. So that time Bhaktivinoda Thakur was old and then he was actually feeling sick also, and could not participate to debate. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura accepted the challenge. So everyone assembled for the debate. Brahmanas were expressing the glory of their caste and position, referring to so many scriptures here and there. Then finally, when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura started to really talk, to start to really give his preaching, he first of all highly praised the Brahmanas, quite for some time, the glories of Brahmanas. He said Brahmanas are the ones who have realized the Brahman. Only the Brahmanas are in the material mode of goodness. They are top in this material world. So after hearing all these Brahmanas, that wow, this is good. So he is really on our side. And after in no time he brought the topic of Vaishnavas and said that, but Vaishnavas are beyond this material world. They are above the material. It is material mode of goodness. They are above. So he continued and blasted one by one all the things that he continued systematically. He argued and proved that Vaishnavas are the topmost. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura was helping his father a lot in many ways in publishing this, and so many publications were going on, so many books were also going on. And after Bhaktivinoda Thakur finally left, all the responsibilities came to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura. He established 3 big printing centers. One in Madras, now it is called Chennai, that is South India. Another one in Calcutta, and one more in the same place where he was residing, that was Krishnanagar itself. And he called these printing presses as Brihat Mridanga. Why he was calling these printing presses as Brihat Mridanga? A normal Mridanga makes a sound that goes only to some distance. But the books, compared to that propagating sound coming from these printing presses, will go far and wide. So he called them, as all the printing presses, as the Brihat Mridanga. So this is amazing what he contributed. So now it is only because of the mercy of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura, who came in the line of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, many of us are here today. It is because of his vision to spread the Gauravani to the entire world. And his chosen Acharyas, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and our Srila Gurudev and others could accomplish a great task of delivering so many souls. It is the Jagat Guru who ignited the explosion of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings to reach everywhere, making his vision that my name will be chanted in each and every town and village. That one was really vision, was really, the ignition was really given by Jagat Guru. And one day, every religion will find its place under this one big umbrella. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur actually accepted a guru who was that time, like everyone was, was actually seeing Gaura Kishore Dasa Babaji as a illiterate. But look at how he positioned himself in, under the Guru. So he completely surrendered to his Guru. Completely. And he took whatever the instruction that was given by his Guru, 100%. 100%. So he actually, for his entire life, he devoted everything to serve only Guru. And also, some of the instruction that he used to give was, we should never give up our service to service. See, the service, because when we are engaged in serving Gurudev, so many obstacles will come. The obstacles will come because it's not that Krishna is not going to just put a neat path and then you just walk on the red carpet. It's not going to happen that way. But somehow or other, we have to adjust ourselves to bear any difficulties that we may encounter to really carry on the service. Because if we see that, Dhruva Maharaj, what kind of difficulties that he went through? And Prahlad Maharaj, what kind of difficulties that he went through. So all these wonderful devotees will face difficulties. Otherwise, how will a great devotee will be really to be shown to the public about his greatness? When an elephant is really tied in a tree, then not even by elephant pulling the tree out, we can see that wow, this elephant is very, very strong, very, very strong. And another instruction that he used to say was, never get disappointed. Things are not going to happen in the way that you think that will happen. Even his own disciples, he sent several devotees to preach to, I believe in UK somewhere. I think some of his disciples were sent, but it did not work out. So they all came back. But then when A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada was sent, even first time he had a lot of troubles. But eventually that happened. So this is how the religious, all the seva is really inherently, this is the way it is. So that was his teaching. And once it happened that he sent somebody to, some of his disciples to really go and then preach. And I think that was Bhagavad Gita or something, I don't remember. So these disciples went there and then they started preaching. But then they really came back and they told, so how was the preaching? So how did it go through? Not good. Only two persons showed up and no one else. One was the priest and one was the other one. But then I don't know whether Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told or something, and I heard somewhere, somebody told, the same incident actually happened to that case. Bhagavad Gita was supposed to be really taught by one of his disciples. So he was really sent to really preach. Again the same thing, like very similar to that. Only two people came. And he really came back and then told his guru, only two showed up. But the response was, Arey, you are so lucky. Because even Lord Krishna had only one, only Arjuna. You had it too. Look at that. You got it twice of the power now. It's good. You are doing good. Better than Lord Krishna you are doing. So this is how we have to think. When we come to preaching, this is how the position is. If nobody is showing up, I think many of our Guru Parampara, they used to really tell the Harikatha to the deities. That is it. Even 4 walls. So the preaching is not that as we think. We do not really anticipate, wow, this is a big crowd or something. No, difficulties will be there. Especially when we really present our Gauravani, how many souls are really able to really come straight away? But slowly, only few will come. So that's been preached, but don't get disappointed. And another one is, always chant and sing the glories of Krishna. Whatever happens in our life, never give that up. There will be occupational duties, so many caveats and obstacles that will come. But the chanting of the Lord's name is always that we have to whether it really doesn't matter. Pandemic may be coming, or big flood may be coming, or duties, pressures, everything may come. But his instruction is that we should always be focused and we should never leave the shelter under Guru and the Nama. And have patience and forbearance, tolerance as like a tree. That is why it's Natha Sunichena. So this whole sloka was always the example for us to go through. And another one is, go and spread the glories and knowledge of whatever Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given to us. This should be the mission of everyone who has really come under this line. So, In summary, chant the holy names of the Lord and hear the glories of the Lord and spread this to the entire world. Unite and work together and for pleasing Krishna. So, by that I think I am close to the thank you. Vanja kalpa tarupchecha kripa sindhupevacha paritanam pavanepyo vaishnavepyo namo namaha. All glories to Sri Srila Bhakti Pranjana Keshav Goswami Maharaj. All glories to Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj. And also all glories to Sri Bhakti Bhudeva Shrauti Goswami Maharaj. And especially thank you for giving this wonderful opportunity to really say a few words to glorify about Bhakti Siddhanta, Jagat Guru, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Actually, perfect timing. You just right in the nick of time, 30 minutes.
I see.
Perfect timing.
Okay, good.
But so beautiful in describing the life story of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada and just how every section of his life was an increasing towards that time until eventually he was to preach and send out his limbs in the form of his many dedicated disciples who were generals in that army in which he was able to preach across the whole world. So truly he is Jagat Guru. And you explain so beautifully that even in terms of service, in highlighting his Upadeshamrit, and in terms of a service also to Shri Guru, that many obstacles will come in the way, but we should never give up, and we should not be hopeless, and we should also not be fearless. That we should be fearless, that we should not be fearful. That just like the name of our Srila Prabhupada, Abhay Charanaravinda, that he is fearless at the lotus feet of the Lord, that in the same way also at the lotus feet of Shri Guru, we must also be fearless in the execution of our seva, in the execution of our preaching. So very beautifully you have elucidated the instructions and also of some of the pastimes as well as the life story of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur as well as Srila Param Gurudev. I think it's a perfect way to start off our dedication this afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you are. So thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you.